Abilene's first news station, Big Country Proud. This is KRBC, Abilene's local news weekend.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in to KRBC News. I'm Dan Booth. Our top story tonight. Today is the 10th anniversary of when Hailey Dunn, a 13-year-old girl from Colorado City, was last seen alive. Her mother said Hailey left home for a sleepover and never returned. In 2013, Hailey's remains were found near Lake J.B. Thomas in Scurry County. Our Nathan Grieve was one of the last to cover this story for us in 2019, and tonight we look back at this tragedy.
The story of Hailey Dunn's disappearance begins when she was first reported as missing. At first, it was said she was headed to a sleepover. Later, it came out that the sleepover never happened and was never planned to happen.
They had no plans for Hailey to go there that night. Her mother was interviewed. There were no plans for those girls to have a sleepover.
For the next chapter of the story, you need to skip ahead to March 2013. Remains found near Lake J.B. Thomas in Scurry County, and in April it became official. It was Hailey.
On April 26, 2013, the Scurry County District Attorney's Office received written confirmation that the remains have been positively identified as those of Hailey Dunn.
It wouldn't be until January of 2017, nearly 4 years later, that Hailey was finally laid to rest. In the intervening years, the boyfriend of Hailey's mother, Billy, Sean Atkins, is the only person investigators have named as a person of interest. For his part, Sean says Hailey's disappearance and death were hard on him.
Hailey, I hope you come home safe really soon. You've been gone for way too long, and we just really all miss you, and we all love you.
The only arrest is that of Billy Dunn, who police accuse of lying about Sean's whereabouts. That arrest came in March of 2011. Billy spending the better part of a decade still wanting answers.
It's the same as every day. I feel sadness over not having her home yet. I feel anger over not having an arrest yet. I feel anger over somebody not having any remorse to confess.
Hailey's father, Clint, however, says something just isn't right.
That was her boyfriend, so we were kind of wanting best friends, you know, and I think that Billie Jean knows something.
Clint sharing that information early this year. Just one more detail in the cloudy picture of what happened to Hailey Dunn 9 years ago.
From over the years on our website, bigcountryhomepage.com. Now let's get to the first check of the forecast. Susanna, what can we expect for tomorrow and the rest of the week?
Well, Dan, it seems like someone took your request to heart. Unfortunately, though, a few days a little bit too late for that winter precip chance. Let's go ahead and take a picture of satellite and S-band radar. There you can see captured the cold front that moved through earlier today, and our next incoming cold front that will allow for us to see some of that winter precip move into areas of the big country. 3D live radar shows temperatures are quiet at this moment. Temperatures between the 40s and the 50s as of this moment. But as for tonight, we'll be dipping down into the lower 40s. However, it'll be warmer than normal. Winds will continue from the east-northeast at about 5 miles per hour. It'll be a warmer than normal night. We saw sunset at 5:41 p.m. Now, as for tomorrow, expect the highs to get into the mid to upper 50s. It'll be a 50% chance of scattered showers. Between less than a tenth of an inch of rain is expected. Winds will continue from the east-northeast at about 10 miles per hour. We'll start to see a little bit more of that cloud cover move in. Now, Dan, as for the rest of the week, here's a little bit more of what we can look forward to. Rain chances are in the forecast, so I apologize for those of you who got your car washed today. Severe storms are possible heading into Tuesday. Our next cold front arrives Tuesday as well, and we have winter precipitation possibly in the forecast. I'll touch on that in just a few moments. Dan.
Thank you, Susie. Late Sunday, President Trump signed Congress's $2.3 trillion spending package, which includes billions in COVID-19 relief aid. Millions of Americans lost their unemployment benefits Saturday after the president refused to sign the bill. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has the latest.
After a day spent on the golf course and under immense pressure from both Democrats and Republicans, President Trump reversed course, signing the massive spending bill passed by Congress, which included $900 billion in COVID relief aid. The president's last-minute decision averted a government shutdown starting Tuesday. Earlier Sunday, several lawmakers begged the president to endorse the package.
What we need to do is have the president sign that bill today, right now, or else the suffering of this country will be immense.
President Trump signed the bill after the House and Senate agreed to vote on increasing one-time payments to most Americans from $600 to $2,000, although many in the GOP still oppose that.
I don't agree with $2,000 checks to people who've had no lost income whatsoever, which is the vast majority of Americans.
The bill provides protection from evictions, new loans for struggling small businesses, and another $8 billion for vaccine distribution, as federal health officials predict another post-holiday surge of COVID-19 deaths.
We have a grim month ahead of us. It's the East Coast and the West Coast and Florida as well, where cases are still building.
The U.S. death toll from COVID-19 is now over 330,000, while new cases have shot up from 18 million to over 19 million in less than a week. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Thank you, Jennifer. Authorities investigating the Christmas Day explosion in Nashville say they have identified the bomber and they believe he acted alone. NBC's Dan Sheneman reports.
Speaking today will be Donald Cochran.
Authorities announcing a major update in the investigation.
Based on the evidence that we've gathered to this point, we've come to the conclusion that an individual named Anthony Warner is the bomber, that he was present when the bomb went off, and that he perished in the bombing.
On Saturday, investigators searched a home in Antioch, Tennessee, believed to be the residence of Anthony Warner. Investigators believe no one else was involved in the blast. The explosion left a huge crater in downtown Nashville. And while investigators continue their work,
because it rocked me that hard, I started stumbling. I just tell myself to stay on your feet, stay alive.
Nashville police officers credited with escorting civilians to safety before the Christmas Day blast spoke publicly for the first time.
So it was just literally going through the motions of knocking on doors, seeing if we could get anybody, telling them, hey, we've got a threat in the area, we need to evacuate immediately.
I'm just grateful that we actually had time to try and help people clear out.
A grateful officer and a community grateful to all the officers who acted quickly Christmas Day. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Coming up on your local news, a 6-year-old girl in Abilene gets the best Christmas gift she could have possibly imagined.
Plus, as we approach the end of the year, your holiday travel plans could get a bit icy. We'll have you all caught up on what you need to know after the break.
You're watching KRBC, Abilene's local news weekend.
Six-year-old Megan Jacobs told Santa Claus that for this Christmas,
Now, this is your KRBC Storm Track weather forecast from meteorologist Susanna Aguayo. Sponsored by First Bank Texas.
A good Sunday night there, Big Country. I hope you are all having a great weekend. I do have some good news as that cold front moved through. Our next one is hanging off the coast of California. It's expected to get here around Tuesday evening is where we'll start to see a little bit of a change in the pattern. 3D live radar shows a quiet picture, but heading into Tuesday, this is our storm potential. It's marginal. That means 1 out of 5 enhanced risk. Now what that means is that we'll see the winds increase, and our greatest threat will be again those wind gusts of over 40 to 45 miles per hour, including up to 60 potentially, and some possible hail in that as well. We'll have more on that once we get a little bit of the models updating. We'll have the latest for you, but as of right now, temperatures are in the mix of the 40s and a few 50s. Winds are out of the north and east at about 7 miles per hour here in the city of Abilene, 6 near Wichita Falls, and 14 near Lubbock. And of course, we'll start to see the winds increase as that cold front starts to make its way through. But for those of you with allergies, the next couple of days are going to be very up and down. Let's go ahead and check out what that means. Heading into your Monday, we'll start to see the temperatures fall after that cold front into the upper 50s. By your Tuesday, we have a warm front that will boost those temperatures up just a bit. Luckily, following that, we have a cold front that will allow them to fall into the 50s. And by your Thursday, you're looking at possible 40s for a maximum. And by Friday, again, we're starting that warming trend once again, and we know that the drought conditions have been anything rather than pleasant, especially for those just to the south of that I-20 corridor. Luckily, though, we have about less than 1/10 of an inch of rain of that surplus. Here we have about 0.06 of an inch to keep us into the way as a surplus by the end of the year. Now, we talked about those rain chances and that they are coming up. Let's check it out. Monday, 50%, but by Tuesday we have up to 90% precip, and that's where we'll start to see some of that severe weather movement. So have your phones handy as well. Make sure to be updated on our Facebook page as well as our Big Country homepage. Will keep you updated on the latest as well. Heading into your Wednesday, about a 70%. Now, the interesting thing about your Wednesday is that overnight into Thursday, we could be looking at some possible winter precipitation here in the Big Country before we close out the year. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of a closer look at that FUTURECAST here. We can see Monday, a lot more cloud cover for the start of your Monday morning, and by midday, that's where we start to see that low pressure and that warm front arrive. Now, that will allow for the temperatures heading into your Monday evening, along with all that instability, to allow for some scattered showers in the area. Now, by your Tuesday afternoon is where we start to see that cold front move into the area. Now, behind that cold front is where we have a little bit more of those isolated rain chances, and even some possible severe weather. There you can see it Wednesday morning is when we'll start to see a majority of that rain, especially heavier pockets of that rain could lead up to an inch of rain in some areas. Now, after that cold front will start to clear out a little, but as for tomorrow, here's the temperatures we can expect to see between 52 and 60 degrees. Remember, the winds will continue from the east, and we'll start to see a little bit more of that cloud cover. But here is our next weather maker that we were talking about. So for those of you that are expecting to see a little bit of that rainfall, here we could start to see a little bit, just those showers of that little patches of snow heading into your Thursday. So I know those of you that have a little bit of those holiday plans are expecting to travel. You just want to be cautious as well, Dan.
You know, and Susie, as you mentioned, there's typically a lot of travel around the holiday season. So what is this impact of the rain and the possible snow heading in the next week into New Year's?
Well, Dan, my advice would be to give yourself plenty of time to arrive to your destination, especially traveling overnight into Thursday. It looks very discouraging, but we still have a few things to work out in the models. We'll have a better picture for you heading into your Tuesday, but you also want to make sure to keep your tires inflated, especially with that low pressure and the temperatures changing quite drastically, Dan.
You know what? Thank you, Susie, as always. And a 6-year-old girl in Abilene got a Christmas surprise she'll never forget. Our Marley Capper spoke with the Jacobs family to find out what made Christmas so special this year.
6-year-old Megan Jacobs told Santa Claus that for this Christmas, she wanted her dad to come home from overseas.
Ask Santa, did Daddy
And Air Force Technical Sergeant Chris Jacobs wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it.
At the last minute, Santa was able to help me get out of Japan and come to Texas.
To bring what the Jacobs called a Christmas miracle.
Fill it up.
Hi, Megan!
I thought it was you!
I did? Why did you think that?
Because I really wanted you to come, and it was a really big thought!
Yeah?
Because she hasn't seen her dad since January.
It's been kind of an insane year, so it's the same insane year everybody else has had, but he's been on the other side of the world, so we've had completely different experiences regarding everything that's gone on with COVID and everything.
And when Chris was reassigned,
when we went into this, we planned to have lots of visits this year and to get together at least a few times so that he could see Megan. And every visit we had was canceled because of COVID.
But Megan got her Christmas wish.
That we got to be a family for Christmas.
The Jacobs hope to soon be all together again in Japan, but for now they'll cherish the last few days until Chris leaves. In Abilene, Marley Capper, KRBC, Abilene's local news.
Thank you, Marley. Coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys are looking to stay alive in the NFC East title race. Today, the Eagles flew into AT&T Stadium. Max is up next in sports.
This is BigCountryHomepage.com Sports with Max Preston.
We're still
This is BigCountryHomepage.com Sports with Max Preston.
We're still hanging on to the Dallas Cowboys. Each team in the NFC East is somehow still alive to win the division and make the playoffs coming into today. Dallas welcoming the Eagles to AT&T Stadium. Let's go to the action. Second quarter, Dallas down 14-3, but looking to climb back. Andy Dalton to Michael Gallup dodges tacklers. He's in for the touchdown. 14-10 Eagles. Just before halftime, Dalton rolling to the left. Perfectly placed pass to Gallup, who camps on the sideline and falls down with the reception. Gallup is red hot, so why not go back to him? Lob pass from Gallup. Gallup, give me that. Great catch. He's got another one, and the boys lead 20-17 at half. Coming out of the half, Eagles say, let's cover Gallup. Well, there's also a talented rookie wideout, CeeDee Lamb. Busted coverage. He's wide open, gone. It is 27-17. Late in the game, Lamb looking for a score on the ground to put it away, and he does just that. Cowboys seal it here. Dallas takes the W 37-17 and stays alive for the division title with a Washington loss today. Here is a recap of the game from Mickey Spagnola.
You want offense? The Cowboys score 37 points on Sunday, rack up 513 yards of offense. Wide receivers Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper each go for 121 yards receiving. Ezekiel Elliott adds 105 yards rushing, and Andy Dalton throws for a season-high 377 yards and 3 touchdowns. You want defense? The Cowboys hold the Philadelphia Eagles to just 17 points, second fewest of the season. They also held them to just a field goal after giving up 2 touchdowns on the Eagles' first 2 possessions. 3 more takeaways. And how about Randy Gregory? 6 tackles, a sack and a half, and forced 3 fumbles. And if you want special teams, Greg Zuerlein makes 3 of 3 field goals. Call them the resilient Cowboys. Cowboys 37, Eagles a distant 17. The Cowboys go from 2-7 to win 4 of their last 6 games to pull to 6-9, keeping hope alive to still win the NFC East. They got to beat the Giants this coming Sunday, and they'll need these Eagles to help out and beat Washington. Somehow, this team has extended this crazy season to Week 17. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Mickey Spagnola.
The high school football season is now over for the Big Country after the Abilene High Eagles concluded a great season yesterday against Denton Guyer. So with that, let's take a look at the top 5 plays from the year.
This is the Dr. Pepper Play of the Week on BCH Sports, sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Play number 5 goes to Alex Jacobs of Early. Look at him take the carry, find a hole, and move defender. Get out the way. A boomstick by Jacobs. Take another look. Oh my goodness. Flattens the defender and dives in for the score. Play 4 goes to Xavier Wishart of Jim Ned. Check out the flip over the defense. That would end up being the game-winning touchdown for the Indians to move on to state. Big play by Wishart. Check it out again. A great display of athleticism. Play 3 goes to Keyshawn Kemp of Cooper. Check this one out. Quarterback Aiden Thompson floats a pass, and Kemp makes a beautiful one-handed catch for the touchdown. Cooper would win this one against Abilene High. Kemp tracking it down and hauling it in one-handed. Play 2 goes to Baron Morton and Dylan Wilson of Eastland. Morton slings this one all the way to Wilson in the back of the end zone for an incredible pass and catch. The Mavericks advance to the regional finals with a win here. Just a pure throw and grab in a big game. And our top play is none other than Tate Yardley and Zach Henderson of Jim Ned. Gutsy call in the state championship, but it pays off for the win as they take the title over Hallettsville with a memorable play right here. Congrats to every player on a great high school season, and we look forward to seeing even more great plays next year. All right, that's it for sports. Let's go back to the desk.
Alrighty, thank you, Max, and we'll have another look at your extended day forecast coming up after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching KRBC, Abilene's local news weekend.
After 12 years of fundraising and planning, the Cedar Creek Waterway hiking trail is flowing and has waterfalls. With help from the City of Abilene's Water Department, Cedar Creek has recycled water from the waste treatment plant running through it. This gives families the chance to enjoy the trail this holiday season. One of the waterfalls can be found along the Cedar Creek Trail under the bridge on East South 7th Street. The recycled water will be running through the creek until January 2nd.
Well, thank you, Dan. And before we leave you here, here's a look at our next weather maker. There you can see that cold front that will have arrived Tuesday evening, already passing through areas of the big country. And as you can see right alongside of it, behind that cold front is where we're expecting temperatures to drop and some possible winter precipitation in the area. Of course, as of right now, accumulations are still very light and slim to none, but we could see a few changes in the forecast. So nothing yet is set in stone. And of course, for those to the counties in the south and east is where we're expecting a little bit more of that winter precipitation to fall. Here's a look at that 5-day forecast. You have that cold front that will arrive heading into your Tuesday. Again, we're expecting about a ½ an inch, possible severe storms heading into your Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we have the wintry mix possible overnight. By Thursday, on New Year's Eve, a very cold start to the morning. By Friday, temperatures in the 50s, and we'll start a little bit of a warming trend heading into your Sunday. Temperatures are maxing out at about 60 degrees, so quite pleasant for the start of the new year. Dan, how about those Cowboys?
Hey, they get to play against my New York Giants next week. That's going to be fun for sure. That does it for our local news tonight. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night, and thank you for trusting KRBC.